Welcome to the Real HD Show, the show that you know. It's that show on these or any other airwaves where we give you the good, the bad, the ugly of our culture. But do we do what? We solve it with freedom music. Freedom music happens from 7:30 to 8 p.m. All you do is hit the link below, as you can see. You come on up. You come on up in the backstage with me, and we jam out to the dopest, music, soulful hip hop, soulful R&B, jazz, a whole lot of stuff. Tonight we had the Coop, we had MF Doom with the Sade joint. We had I believe it's called Glow by Khalees. We had a lot of good joints in the background. Come join us if you get a chance early. If you want to rock with the Real HD Show, we are rocking the 5 Facebook channels: YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, as the kids like to say it, Mob Crush, D Live, Trovo Nation. We are everywhere you want to be. We are the Real HD, and there is no show without you. So please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe, and turn on all your notifications. So now that we are on, you can rock with us and have a higher discussion. So right before we get into the nitty of the gritty, to get busy, we gotta jump into these sponsors. Total Package Energy, melanated company, athlete tested, people approved. They got waters, powders, gels, teas, all those things that you might need to get that, juices also to get that 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock crash off you. You might feel a little sleepy at 3 o'clock. Take one of those. It's all natural, by the way. Melanated company. Go to totalpackageenergy.com. Tell them the Real HD Show sent you. Write it in an inbox or whatever mechanism they have. Tell them that the Real HD Show sent you. And you want to get involved and get that total package energy going. Also, redeem vacations. Make sure you can bring anyone or 5 people to the Real HD Show, courtesy of yourself. They got to say, yo, so-and-so brought me, right? And then you too will get a 4-day, 3-night vacation certificate to an American destination, Caribbean destination near you. Wouldn't that be nice to go somewhere in the middle of this crazy hurricane season? Put your feet up. You know what I mean? I was going to rhyme it with something, but, I don't know. It's a little early. Kids might still be up, Anyway, so make sure you check out Redeem Vacations or bring those listeners to the show, courtesy of yourself. Let them know. So if you say, hey, so-and-so may, have me come here. All right, cool. You know what I'm saying? And, Mozzie got one. Godspeed got one. Who else got a gift certificate? A vacation certificate. Averin got one. It's a few folks. You know what I mean? Lady B, she got one. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you Miss B. So make sure you bring everybody to the Real HD Show. And you too can walk away with one of them bats. That's right, that NOLA brand of footwear, revolutionary sole technology to make sure that your joints feel great. This is like a cross between Vans and Huaraches with a little more, stylish style points to them. Little throwback to the Pro Cads, but they got like a Van sort of feel to them, Huarache Van sort of feel to them. I like them. Ice Spice likes them also. That's a clip of her Instagram. Yeah, we dropping names. We're on the Real HD Show. Check out Van Check out Bats Footwear, cross between Vans and Hirachis, legendary, revolutionary, soul protection. Be Healthy Fresh Food Markets. See Negus, go see Imhotep, go see all the great people who will lay it out for you. Soups, wraps, teas, smoothies, shakes, all natural, fruit that they'll cut up right in front of you, organically raised. Please check them out. Be Healthy Fresh Food Markets in Rochester, New York. If you're ever up here, check them out. It will be the best $20 you ever spent. They'll have you feeling, they'll have you feeling like you had a nutritious meal and feeling light afterwards. All right. So we want to jump into our ancestors and elders blueprint. Boom. Right. But most of the time, and please join us below, StreamYard.com, YMFRW5SCFC. Okay. And let me make sure that's the right one. It is. The link is working. I tested it earlier. Y'all jump in here. The water is fine. We're going to get into this ancestors and elders blueprint, but it's also going to be a stolen legacy moment mashup, smash up. Every once in a while, I like to take these two and combine them because they're so relatable. Stolen legacy moment is something that we do on the Real HD show when we're trying to feature a component of our history, some contextual information of our history, and an elders and ancestors blueprint will be the logistics of how they actually got it done. So we're going to smash these two up right now. That means we're going to combine them, and we're going to show you guys a vid of Mary Beatrice Anderson. Mary Beatrice Davis. Pardon self. Mary Beatrice Davis. And she has she's an inventor, and she has some realness to contribute to the culture and to all America, for that matter, for all the United States. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all want running around with your children and y'all thinking that all we are good for is entertaining and twerking, well, that would not be the case. It would be far from that. And in our mashup, smash up, we are going to show you what Mary Beatrice Davis invented and how she is special to us, our people in our culture. Real HD show. Check it out. Share this, man. Share this. You ain't getting this nowhere else, man. Trust me. You're not getting this nowhere else. You're not getting it in school. You're not getting it in church because they don't know. You know what I'm saying? Give me a second, family. Let me pull it up. All right. Fair use. 107 USC 106. Videos used for educational purposes only. Real HD show. Check it out.
That the first sanitary belt was invented by an African-American woman. Mary Kenner was her name. Born in 1912 in North Carolina, USA, Mary had innovation in her blood, hailing from a family with a natural inclination for invention. Even at the age of 6, she attempted to craft a self-oiling door hinge. Despite her ambition, Mary's plans to attend Howard University were thwarted by financial hardship and gender discrimination. And because women were often excluded from academic programs at the time, she was denied the opportunity to formally pursue her education. Undeterred, she forged her own path as a self-taught inventor, driven by an unwavering passion to create. Throughout her life, Mary filed 5 patents. Her first invention, a sanitary belt from the 1920s, faced obstacles in patenting due to the high costs. When she later attempted to patent it, she encountered racism and bigotry, with companies losing interest upon discovering she was a Black woman. It is believed that Kenner did not make any money from her invention, so she filed another patent for a sanitary belt with a moisture-proof pocket. This innovation aimed to prevent menstrual blood leaks onto clothing, providing a more effective solution for women who used rags and wool at the time to manage their periods. This advancement not only enhanced hygiene, but also offered greater comfort and confidence during menstruation. But Mary's inventive spirit didn't stop there. Her other patents included practical innovations like a tray and pocket attachment for wheelchairs and walkers, a toilet tissue holder, and a shower-mounted backwasher and massager. In 2006, at the age of 93, Mary Kenner passed away, leaving behind a lasting legacy in women's hygiene and innovation. It's always vital to shine a light on Black creatives, as without them, the world would stand still. So, the next time you think about feminine hygiene and sanitary pads, remember the name, Mary Kenner.
Pardon me. I didn't know if you guys heard me. Welcome back to the Real HD Show. I hope we rocking right now. Okay, great. And that was our mashup smash up of the stolen legacy moment and our elders and ancestors blueprint, featuring Mary Beatrice Davison, and she was dope with all her inventions. The self-oiling door hinge, tried to get that done. You know what I mean? And folks wasn't trying to rock with her properly. You know what I mean? And then she also tried to get done. Um, they give her credit with being the mother of invention for the sanitary napkin, rather than using wools and cloths and all kinds of dangerous devices to stop the monthly flow from you know being a burden, staining clothes, all the rest of it. She revolutionized that whole piece for women all over the world. You know what I mean? I don't know if there was. I mean, we could check the analogs. We can check the catacombs of country to country, city to city. I'm not quite sure if we're gonna find a better person who was, who wanted to empower women through, especially sisters, through their travails with that, better than Mary Beatrice Davison. So I hope you guys appreciated that. And if you guys want to chop it up and talk a little bit about her, you can. Here is I'll put the call letters back up nice and big. So anybody that wants to join can join. And I'm gonna put this in both chat rooms, both the one on Instagram and the one in Facebook. So everybody could join, everybody could jump in. We blast them off everywhere you want to be. We are the Real HD Show. I'm your host, Vic. Peace. Hope y'all doing all right on this hump day. There's a lot to go through, a lot to cover. So I'm just trying to get to it. Let's see. Let's go into the chat room real quick. I'm gonna post the joint one more time. Okay. Let me look at that. Boom. So everybody could jump in, man. Y'all want to rock out. We doing Power to the People news this evening. Um, you guys can jump in here if you feeling froggy. You know what I mean? Say it with your chest. Don't make a mess. Yep. Yeah, so we're good. So you go down below and you put this in your in your URL or your box up above, your address bar, and you too can jump up and join the Real HD show. Well, while everybody is coming in and getting notified that the show is on, um, please, let's jump into our AAT report because we have a couple of vids and a couple of healthy things to deal with tonight as far as that's concerned. Some really dope information that I know everybody can use to light your fuse. You know what I'm saying? So you could be inspired to do great work as we push on forward. What I'm doing right now is I'm going to Instagram and we have an Instagram chat page, um, the Real HD Show, and you know what I'll do it. I'll just do it online because this can take forever the other way around. Okay. I put this up earlier. I'll put it up again. I'll put it in the Instagram chat. Y'all jump in here. Y'all let us know that the Real HD Show is the best information based program that you're going to find on these or any other airwaves. Let them know. Jump in here. Be bold. Be brave. Say it with your chest. You know what I'm saying? Don't make a mess. We are the Real HD Show. Um, I hope everybody, liked the article that I put in there on HARP. Whether it's true or not true, I thought it was a really good thing to ponder on. You know what I mean? You never truly know. You never truly know what's going on. These folks do a lot of lying. These folks do a lot of covering up. These folks do a lot of things that, they swear they on the up and up about. And then when find out behind the scenes, it's on some boo boo. It's on some nonsense, straight lying, straight gaffing, straight not telling you the truth about really anything, about virtually anything. You know what I'm saying? Lying about every single thing. You know what I mean? Dropping all type of bones out their mouth about the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, liberation, love, peace, and happiness. What's going on in the progression of this country? So we're gonna get into a lot of that this evening. We got a lot to cover. I hope y'all can join us to discover what we doing on the Real HD Show. Hey, thanks, Alicia McIntyre. I appreciate you for joining. If you got a question about anything that we showed, please, dump it in the chat. Let us know where you're at. Let us know how you're doing and what you feel like pursuing this evening. Well, it's night already. It's damn near 8:30. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm doing is I'm still putting it in the Instagram chat, the uh, call letters, all the rest of it, so that anybody that wants to pop up can truly pop up. Um, the link is working, everything's working. We're live. We where you want to be. We are the Real HD Show. All right. Well, now that that's done, let's jump right into our AAT report. Healthy, wealthier, and wiser for a brand new you. Cue music. All right. Shout out to Dirty Clean. Shout out to DJ Clean for that track. That track is real dope. It's a track called Slide. He's part of my son's production unit, my son's production crew. Shout out to you for making that track. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Quad Studios. Doing it big, doing it big. All right, so we're in the AAT report, healthy, wealthy, and wiser for a brand new you. Why? Because we need cell power. Because many, many years ago, a lot of us were robbed of it, if not robbed of our existence. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people passing away and not really with us anymore over that time period. And you know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about the crown, that crown time period, right? If anybody knows what the Rona is, meaning of Rona, then you'll get what I'm saying. So during the crown period, we lost a lot of folks due to health maladies. And we want to try our damnedest to reverse that trend, especially with our folks suffering the most savage inequalities in the United States over the longest period of time. So there's a interesting video I found today, and it's on stem cells in the brain, right? And the reason why that's near and dear to me is because a lot of people in my family have either come down with Alzheimer's or dementia. And this speaks to that just a bit, but it also speaks about diet, and it also speaks about some things that can actually help you in those regards. So we're going to jump right into this in an AAT report moment on the Real HD show. Let's see where we at. Yep, here we go. 107 USC 106, fair use. Video used for educational purposes only. Thank you.
Brain rejuvenation breakthrough, how limiting glucose could spark new neuron growth. Nerve fibers, right? From Stanford, California. Could the secret to maintaining a youthful, sharp mind be as simple as watching our sugar intake? A new study from Stanford Medicine suggests that glucose plays a surprising role in the aging brain's ability to produce new neurons. As we age, our brains become less adept to producing new neurons, a process known as neurogenesis. This decline can have far-reaching consequences, contributing to memory loss, reduced cognitive function, and potentially exacerbating neurodegenerative disease like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. It also hinders recovery from stroke and other brain injuries. However, this new research, led by Anne Brunette, PhD professor of genetics, offers hope by shedding light on why neural stem cells, the precursors to new neurons, become less active with age. Using cutting-edge CRISPR technology, Brunette and her team conducted a comprehensive genetic screen to identify genes that, when inhibited, could reactivate dormant neural cells, stem cells, in aged mice. Among the 300 genes it discovered, one stood out: SIC2A4, and it codes for glucose transporter protein GLUT4. We first found 300 genes that had this ability, which is a lot, Brunette explains. One in particular caught our attention. It was a gene for the glucose transporter known as the GLUT4 protein, suggesting that elevated glucose levels in and around old neural stem cells could be keeping those cells inactive.
All right. So that was our first piece of the AAT report, healthy, wealthier, and wiser for a brand new you, because we need cell power. And that was talking about whether or not, if you limit your glucose or your sugar intake, you probably can stimulate neurogenesis. That means your neurons in the brain, the stem cells in the brain repair themselves over time, in the same fashion that we get like regenerative skin. And if you want those things to take full effect and be embody all of the genetic material and use it in a way that's healthy for the body and that is progressive for the mind, um, and cognitive functioning, you want to keep your glucose level to a minimum. Um, Now, how much should you ingest? Um, Going to Dunkin' Donuts every morning and getting the super duper latte mate, that's not the way. Because I just saw a video about that, and one woman compared the sugar that's in one of those Dunkin' Donut drinks to eating a whole box of donuts, a whole box of glazed donuts from the very same place. Now, if you're reasonable about that sort of, consumption, then why would you drink one of those super duper ate mate lattes from Dunkin' Donuts? That's like sugar suicide. You might as well down two Cokes, two Pepsis, and then take yourself to work and think you're gonna have some sort of great day. You know what I'm saying? So, um, we don't have to be perfect with our health, but we got to be vigilant. Ever since like the 1950s, 60s, when they started instituting higher fructose corn syrup into many, many of the products that are sold to you, there's been a super duper expansion in diabetes, uh, stroke, hypertension, all of those things that are diet related maladies in the body, because of the level of sugar consumption. And also not to overeat because a lot of bread and carb based products break down in the body as simple sugars. You know what I mean? There's sugar substitutes like agave that you can use in your tea and your coffee. Uh, I'm a coffee head, so I gotta watch those things myself. I gotta be really vigilant. After hitting the 50 mark in life, you know what I'm saying? You gotta be super vigilant, super aware of what you're putting in your body, how that will affect, your everyday. And then too, because you start crashing off all that sugar. That sugar is not, something that's gonna last you throughout a long, long, spurt. You're gonna crash off it. I'll never forget when we did an experiment when I was teaching my kids chemistry, and I had them do an experiment with an all natural a peanut. It was a couple of peanuts, maybe like 7 peanuts, and we burnt it. And it was like a balloon experiment. So we had a balloon over a burner, and the amount of energy that burnt coming from a bunch of peanuts versus all natural food, right? Versus the energy that was coming from, let's say, some Skittles. That is definitely sugared, manufactured, and basically candy, right? And do you know that that balloon stayed flat when we burnt the Skittles? There was no energy that went into the balloon for the Skittles. But then when you went over to the peanut side, that balloon was full. It was vibrant. You know what I mean? It was nice and robust. So it'll show you that you're getting much more energy from natural food versus artificial manufactured food. But damn, Vic, I live in a food desert and I'm on social services. How can I, how can you ask me to not partake in what's in my neighborhood? Grow it, get the seeds, grow it. We had, if you go back into the annals and you go back into the catacombs of the Real HD show, we had Sincere on here, and he is a agricultural engineer, and he told us all about growing food out of your closet, growing food out of your off your roof, and in your yard, and in the water. So this is the reason why we named this entire segment the AAT report, Aero Aqua Terra. Um, so please just get that and balance your life. All right, so we're gonna move on to another piece within the AAT report, and it's about earthing. Now we did this before, But what we talked about before was just kind of glossing the subject. It wasn't really like heavy, you know what I'm saying? So right now we're gonna get a little bit more descriptive about earthing. And what is earthing? Earthing is when you basically, we're basically magnets, we're conductors of electricity within our bodies. And that's a healthy thing. And um, a lot of us don't reconnect with the earth, meaning we don't walk barefoot in the soil, on the pavement, and really truly connect with the earth. And I know you'd be like, damn, Vic, them people down south after them hurricanes is really connecting with the earth, huh? Yeah, those are the extremes, man. Maybe that's the earth telling us that, yearning for our connection with the earth. You know what I mean? Some people say heart. Some people say um, the earth is imbalanced. Some people say global warming because right now, Hurricane Milton is on its way. They say it's supposed to be here tomorrow morning on American soil. Uh, you know, Getting busy, busting a move, and tearing shit up. So either way that it's created, we want to not live on extremes. You want to be earthing, so because the earth can help charge the body. And let's watch it right here in this video on the Real HD Show. Check it out. World Star, fair use, fair use.
Look, I have a simple voltmeter here. One is in the ground, the minus, and the plus I have here. And now I'm wearing shoes, sort of. Yeah, I'm not connected with the ground. I touch the red pin. Does it say? 1 or sometimes 0. And look, when I touch my feet, with my feet, the ground, what happens? Up and up. Think about it when you wear shoes. That's why I don't do it anymore. Cheers.
All right. So that was the second half of our AAT report to help you guys really understand how we are magnetic. We give off electricity. We have voltage within the body. We are anode. We are cathode. And we are really, really dope. We have polarity. You know what I'm saying? So just a simple voltage meter and a simple exchange or experiment, if you will, a controlled experiment, wearing a sock versus not wearing a sock, and or wearing a shoe versus not wearing a shoe. And you could see the voltage meter jump up to 6 or even 7 volts. And then when he put his foot back on his shoe, he read nothing. So I found that very interesting, and I thought the people should actually see that, because you hear a lot about how technology affects us. And even when you're like, we talk about the blue light and how the blue light can affect us, and how the blue light in the computers and in the cell phones and tablets, you don't really know if it really truly does have an effect. Well, based on that earthing voltage meter, you see your body does give off electricity and conducts electricity and shares electricity. You know what I mean? We are ionic beings. So right there, that's it, man. If y'all want to chime in on earthing, earthing is very, very healthy, by the way. That's like recharging your battery. So just because you put your feet on a cold floor, and the cold floor may give you a jolt, or it may make you, a little cold, or whatever it does, that is the electrical current running through your body that is coming from Mother Earth, that is going to help you, that's going to tap into your synapse, your spinal cord, your brain derivatives, your cognitive function, and really be the best thing for you. In a lot of different ways too, because a lot of us are city dwellers, you know what I mean? And we don't always get that sensory, charge that we need. You know what I'm saying? So that was the AAT report. Hit us up if you want to talk about earthing, if you want to talk about any of these hurricanes, global warming, or if you would like to talk about brain rejuvenation as a product of less glucose in your diet. You know what I mean? Or your eating culture. So hit us up. You got the call letters below. You know what I mean? We are blasting off to 5 Facebook channels: YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram. Shoot, we everywhere you want to be. We are the Real HD Show. Shout out to Mob Crush. We got about 947 people in Mob Crush. They always holding me down. They love the Real HD Show. Shout out to Twitch. We heavy there. Shout out to YouTube. Pull it up, pull it up. Give us a like, give us a look. And shout out to Facebook. Give us a like, give us a look. Shout out to those who did that already. So now, as we go through our, different segments of the show, before we get to Power to the People News, we want to jump into our Lit City Report. What is the Lit City Report? Lit City Report is the wacky, the wild, the wonderful things that make our world go round. Why? Because a lot of times on the show, we talk about and we deal with a lot of heavy subject matter, the good, the bad, the ugly of our culture, of our people, what we're doing, what we're not doing, what we need, what we don't need. This is a time for us to really be vigilant about the things that are great for us and the great things that we do. Because a lot of people will say, hey, we don't really do this and we don't really have culture and we don't really do that, and that's not true. This is what the Lit City Report is dedicated to showing, and we will get to that and do just that. Make sure to hit us up, join into the fun, StreamYard.com/YMFRW5SCFC. I know that's a mouthful and a tongue twister. You know what I mean? But don't let your fingers blister. Just put it above in your address bar. You can come up with us. You can say it with your chest, or you can even leave an avatar. You know what I mean? Just have like an A or your name up there, and we can kick it, and you can jump off, or you can stay for the whole show. That's really up to you. What you want to do. It's your voice, your victory. It is the Real HD Show. So we're in the middle of a Lit City Report, and first thing we want to talk about on the Lit City Report is we want to feature a young man that's doing great things. He's an inventor. So we featured Mary Beatrice Davison and her great inventions in women's hygiene. And now we want to feature Julian Brown. And why is Julian Brown important? He's important for a number of reasons. One of the reasons is he did something daring. He found a way to be economically and environmentally accountable. He found a way to turn plastic into fuel, gasoline. And it works in cars and all types of engines. And we think that's a great extension of his knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, his talent, his ability. And I wish more young men would be daring like him to do the different sort of thing, or even support the daring sort of thing. So we're going to get into Julian Brown and his attempt to, or not his attempt, but his invention of turning plastic to fuel. All right, here we go. Real HD Show. Once again, 107, USC 106. Fair use, fair use. Videos used for educational purposes only. Now, I have 2 videos of him up here. So I want to just make sure I'm using the right one. Where's the other one? Power. Because I titled it a specific thing, and I just want to make sure I did it right. Okay, let's get to it. I got it. Plastic to Fuel, Julian Brown. Check it out. Real HD show.
The plastic.
Right.
Once it's done being used, we don't care. We want to get rid of it.
Right.
But I knew plastic is made of petroleum, crude oil. Going back to the energy thing, energy can't be destroyed nor created. So I'm like, well, that's untapped potential energy right there.
And
Just
think
throw it
about
in
just
the
think
ocean.
about how much waste United States has.
Exactly.
You really have an untapped resource. You know what I mean? At
Yeah.
your disposal. Like,
You know, we talk about there's all these oil pockets in the earth. Oh, we're running out of the oil. Our oil reserves are our landfills. That's all that oil just right there, just sitting there dormant, vacant, waiting for us to tap in. So when I saw the masks in the ocean, it made me think, why aren't we recycling masks? Why? Because they're contaminated. They have diseases, viruses, dirt, whatever on them. Now that they're in the ocean, now they have salt water, algae. We can't turn that into another mask.
you're right.
All right. So that was the first video with Julian Brown in it. Very astute, very intelligent young brother to make that switch and make that conscious invention. And there's another one that's a little more illustrative about what he can do, turning plastic to fuel for engines that can also solve our problem internationally, because we fight a lot of wars, we do a lot of things over fossil fuels. So I'm combing through my vids. Okay, I thought I just had that joker. Okay, let me go back and look again. I thought I had 2 videos of him. Looks like I have 1, but I do have a pic for y'all, and I'll pull that up right now. And you guys can go and look this up on your own. You can do the knowledge, you can do the science of Julian, what Brother Julian Bond is talking about, because it's really dope. It's really worth your time. And this is his GoFundMe. So he's been raising money to bring his product to market. So if we can give the super glue girl, the Gorilla Glue girl, some money, because she put glue all in her hair, and we can give the brick lady some money, and we can give, anybody who's begging, for a piece of change, doing something strange, we can give them some money. But now we got a young black brother who's really getting it done, who's really pushing the pace. I'm going to enlarge this a little bit. So you guys can give to him. Go to his GoFundMe page. Plastic to Fuel. Together, we will heal the earth, turning plastic waste into fuel. So I did a show about maybe a week and a half ago or so on, clothing waste and fast fashion. And a lot of what's within the clothing that's also jamming up the shorelines and the oceans and so on and so forth is plastic. It's absolutely plastic. And then that very Wednesday, I did another show on Singapore and some places in Japan, mostly Asian countries, are using their plastics, turning it into like road material, turn it into recyclable material that they can use. This brother is solving the fossil fuel issue. So now we don't even got to frack no more. Let's just use the waste that we already have. Let's dig in every landfill all over the globe. Bring that stuff, put it through the purification process that this brilliant brother has, and he will help us together heal the planet. So that was a part of the AAT. That was part of the Lit City Report. Wacky, wild, wonderful things that make our world go round. And we're better when we discuss it with you. So please join the higher discussion. We rocking right now. We getting it in. We got a lot of people on right now. Leave a comment. You could jump in with the link right below in the lower third, as you can see. All you gotta do is type in StreamYard / YMFRW5SCFC. You can, I guess, copy and paste, whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? We take them blind, crippled, and crazy, but never lazy, never intellectually lazy. We are the Real HD Show, the higher discussion. I want to have a higher discussion with you. Let me know in the chat. Let me know if the link is not working. Put a brother on. Let a brother know if the link is working. If it's not working, I'll have it work, but it should be working. I tested it earlier. So just come on up. The water is fine. We getting deep enough to swim in. We are the Real HD Show. So we're in the middle of a Lit City report. And we want to say that another king has returned home to his palatial estate in the ancestral realm. And I'm talking about none other than John Amos. Wow. Say it ain't so. Say it with me, everybody. Damn, 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 James. You know, isn't that what Florida Evans said? And in Good Times when he passed, and she was lamenting his passing, and you know, he was the leader of our family. And unfortunately, you know, that was the iconic role that he made as a TV dad. And of course, throughout the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, was all about the TV dad. The Waltons, Leave It to Beaver, man, Father Knows Best. Wow, so many shows that featured the Caucasian dad and what they were able, the wisdom, the leadership, and the wholesome nature of what they could bring to a family and raise a family, right? But John Amos showed the other side of things. John Amos showed you, John Amos showed you how he could be tough. He could be loving. He can give you that discipline. He could laugh with you. And he has a super duper body of work that is so respectable. Super respectable. So I'm gonna go over his IMDb page right now. Not John Amos, sorry, James Amos. Right? I'm going to James Amos IMDb page, and it is expansive, man. He did classics like Good Times. He did classics like Let's Do It Again. He did a lot of a lot of good stuff. He was on a ton of TV shows, a ton of movies. He was Cleo McDowell from Coming to America. Man, he left his imprint on the fabric of the U.S. consciousness and the world consciousness, for that matter. I'm going to share my screen so you can see his IMDb page. And we're just going to explore a bit so you know how thorough the man was. Rest in power. You are with the ancestors, good brother. The king has returned to the ancestral plane to claim his mansion. And we are here to celebrate the life and times of John Amos. James Amos, sorry. Damn, what am I saying? Why am I getting this man's name wrong? John Amos. Pardon self. I'm thinking of Famous Amos. All right, so as you can see here, man, of course you see the iconic Good Times show that John Amos was a part of. You know, James, Thelma, JJ, Michael, Walona, Penny, and he was the man, and things didn't always work out for him as a man on the show. And he was an interesting microcosm of what the social experience was for black men in the 70s. In the early 70s, he was a very, very hardworking, had a lot of integrity, maybe a little too, maybe he bit a little bit too many nails. Maybe he was a little too on the ornery side, but you couldn't he did it all with love and light and power, and he was all about his family. You know what I mean? And that's just one of the captured images of the brother, John Amos. And then of course you got this one here. And what's interesting about John Amos when he did the Good Times role, right, is as soon as this loads up, you didn't get many shows, and you still don't get many shows. I hope everybody can see this. You don't get many shows, and you didn't get many shows back in those days where you could see black men and women loving on each other. And now we got all of the, gender wars and you know, all of the division and divisiveness. But this brother and sister, and they stuck up for each other. You know what I mean? Like, Esther Rowe, who played Florida Evans, and I believe the show was a spinoff of All in the Family. I think she was like a maid for All in the Family. And she worked for them, cleaned house for them. And then they brought the show to, um, featuring the Evans family. And you saw love, you saw compassion, you saw unity, you saw problems, you saw issues, but you always saw them stick it out, be together, and be family. And it was a real interesting look into the savage inequalities that existed during that time period for black people in America. And it still exists right now. Don't get it twisted. That's what the show is all about. That's what this show is all about in a lot of ways, showing those savage inequalities and why they are important. Now, the reason why John Amos didn't really, make it throughout the duration of the entire show, and I'm not sure if this is actual factual, but it does matter though. He wanted to make the Evans family move in a more progressive direction. And the showrunners didn't want to do that. They didn't want the Evans family to move in a more progressive direction. And therefore, they eliminated his character. He was pretty adamant about those changes going on in the show, because shows, if you could see that picture right there, you could see how dope they were, because they even had Black Jesus on the wall. And that's one of the things that he fought for in the frame of the show. If you can remember back, James Evans told Florida, "I'm not putting no white Jesus on my wall." You know what I mean? And that was quite revolutionary for the time. So, that was also dope. So, and now we fast forward to 2024, and you have movies like Book of Clarence, depicting the Jesus figure, the Christ figure as a brother. So, this brother fought for things like this so that we could have dignified ways of viewing ourselves and regarding ourselves as melanated folks. Trying to get out of Good Times to show you some other stuff that he had. So I guess these are all Good Times pictures. So we're gonna get out of this and we're gonna jump into his IMDb page just a little bit further down, so we can see some of the stuff that he was in, because he was in a lot of stuff. We're gonna go to the bottom and then we'll work our way up a little bit, because the brother deserves it, man. He passed in August, and they didn't even, his family, for reasons of privacy, didn't announce it for about a month, if I got the story right. Let's see. Let me go down. See all. And just like we did for James Earl Jones and we did for Frankie Beverly, because they were icons for our people as well. We're going to do the same for John Amos. I don't mean to keep saying James. His name was James on Good Times. John Amos. So, and I'm sure there's more to this, but let's go through what he got right now. So let's start at 1970. So he was on the original Bill Cosby variety show. I don't even know if you guys know that. Then he was on another Tim Conway comedy hour. He was on Sweetback Badass Song by Mario Van Peebles Sr. And that was, it was kind of like a Mac show, but it was more like, black empowerment for the community, to show that we had, talent, and we had, quality things to contribute to these earth, and we was badass with it. You know what I'm saying? It was more like a Shaft, Dolomite sort of epic. He was on the Dick Van Dyke Show. He had a run on Sanford and Son as Luther. This thing keeps flipping on me. Let's see. He had a run on Sanford and Son. There you go. World's Greatest Athlete. He played a coach. He was on Maude. That was an old school detective show. He was on Let's Do It Again. He played Mac. You know what I mean? And he went up against Silky Slim. He played Kansas City Mac, and they had that famous meet up in the gym when Jimmy Walker was playing that. So him and Jimmy Walker had a really long run together as, castmates, and he really looked up to, John Amos as, a father figure. Then, of course, the legendary Good Times in 74. Police Story, he was in Roots. Let's go, playing the older version of Kunta Kinte. Played the hell out of that role. He was on the Mary Tyler Moore Show. He was on the Future Cop Show. He was on this joint called Alcatraz. That was pretty. He played Bumpy Johnson in the Alcatraz story. You know what I mean? Man, he did a lot of stuff. Beastmaster. If you know about Beastmaster, you know about Beastmaster. That was one of them like Conan the Barbarian joints. You know what I'm saying? One of them 80s joints that you just had to appreciate it for what it was. It was cool TV. It was cool movie watching. But he was on the A-Team, with B.A. Baracus and the Professor and Face Man, Trapper John M.D. These are all these. He was on One Life to Live, Murder, She Wrote. Wow, look at all the Beauty and the Beast. He did a voiceover on the Beauty and the Beast cartoon. Your man has some, some roles. Coming to America, Cleo McDowell. You know what I mean? They got the golden arches. We got the golden arcs. We got the Big Mick. They got the Big Mac. You know what I'm saying? Legendary shit. Cosby Show. Lock Up. Wow. Clippers. These are all old school movies from the 80s. He was on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He had a role on that. The Rockford Files. I remember that. Wow. I was a little boy when that was popping. He did a sports joint with Shaquille O'Neal. He was in the movie Disappearing Acts. I think he played Sanaya Lathan's father in the movie. Wow. See all this stuff, man. You never really all about the Andersons. That was a really interesting show. They should have kept that on TV. Dr. Dolittle. He was involved in the Dr. Dolittle series. And on and on and on. So we know him. And we wish that king the best. He did a lot for us in terms of showing us how to walk upright, showing brothers how to stand with dignity, that even if you're down, you're not out, showing us that we could be whatever we want to be. All we got to do is, have peace and walk with power, just like we say on the show. And if anything he ever exhibited, it was those things. Peace to the king returning home to the ancestral plane. to claim your mansion, brother. That was the IMDb and the work of the legendary John Amos on the Real HD show. And that was a lit city report. And I know that was lengthy, but man, didn't he deserve that? Oh yeah. Thanks, yo, from Twitch. Yeah, John Amos was that dude, man. You know what I mean? You had to respect the cut of his jaw, man. You had to respect it. And I think that was powerful, man. I think that was really, really powerful. Let me see if anybody in the chat wants to jump in. And if you don't, that's fine. We'll go through what we got to go through and get up out of here. We got a lot of people rocking. Put in the chat what you think of John Amos, man. What's his best role to you? What are some of his iconic moments? You couldn't get past the voice, the stature, when the eyebrows, when the eyebrows was frowning. All right, you knew that brother was about that business. So, really, really dope actor. Sorry to see him go. We can't live forever. That's just opening the door for more brothers and sisters to be iconic like him and walk in his footsteps. And be as dignified, on screen as he was. He ain't take no mess, man. Kansas City Mac. That was really dope. And there was a spaghetti scene. You got to bring ass to get ass. Yeah, man. That dude was just a man. That was just a man. At a time where a couple, many, many decades where a lot of young brothers and sisters was looking at TV and looking for people that reflected their image and their likeness and their spirit. And John Amos did it for us the way no one else could. Shout out to him. May he rest in power. Yeah, man. So I wanted to get into something on the same trail and line of John Amos, because John Amos showed us how he was one of the legendary TV dads, and he showed us how to put it down and be a man and be a man's man and take care of your family, whether you're down and out or you rolling in it. Because the Coming America role, he was rolling in it. He was just really dope entrepreneur that owned all of these businesses, proprietor. Right? He owned all these McDonald's-like franchises, and he was rolling. He lived in Jamaica Estates, and he was getting busy. But then on good times, he was down and out, but he was still there for his family, and he still put it down, and he still made it happen. So, but there's something going on right now in commercial land, and like a lot of people boycotted the LGBTQ version of the Bud Light commercials. And there's something going on right now with Heinz and how they are depicting black fathers. And I got the story off of Twitter, X, if you will. And it's a story about an interracial couple getting married. And in the original commercial, a black father was present. But then once you get to the actual commercial editing and the clips and whatnot, the black father wasn't present. Now a lot of people are reaching on X and Twitter and saying, oh, they're purposely leaving out the black father because of what's popular. It's popular to celebrate single parents. It's popular to celebrate interracial dating since Loving vs. Virginia in 1975, and it's even now more acceptable than ever. Shout out to Cheerios, milking us with the interracial stuff. But I'm gonna show you this commercial, right? I'm gonna show you this picture right here. It's a Subway in England, and it features a picture of this Heinz commercial. And in the original Heinz commercial, that's right, Heinz ketchup. In the original Heinz commercial, right near the mother on the, my right of the black mother, right? The black mother sitting next to the white groom that just got married. This is the wedding table, right? Where the mothers and the fathers and all of that sit. So you got the white couple on my left-hand side, your right. And then you got the mother on my right, your left, and right next to the mother is the father, but they X the father out of the commercials. So shout out to Nels Abbey. That sounds like a British name, right? Um, Author, writer of Think Like a White Man and the Hip Hop MBA, former banker. He's an agent in the UK, right? I'm not sure what his whole description is about, but I like what he said here. For my brothers with daughters, yes, and I have a 19-year-old, so you know this is hitting home, man. So I don't want nobody to X me out of no wedding photos. You better not. I'm coming for that neck. Because believe it or not, black girls have dads too. Wow. And this is on subways. These are the images that they want you to eat up. These are the images that they want you to consume and to think that these things are regular, these things are acceptable, and these things are popular. Non-cipher. So uh let's try to not get Heinz ketchup because it's full of sugar. That's the first thing. The second thing, and we just learned earlier today that you can slow down your brain regenerative stem cell process by over consuming sugar. And the second thing, we don't want to give life to lazy attempts at black culture like this. This is a lazy take. This is a lazy attempt at black culture. And let us know what you think of this. Would this stand for you? Would you pay for this? If this was your wedding photo, would you pay for it? Would you pay for your father being X'd out of the picture because it sold more product? Would you be down with that? Let us know in the chat. Put it in the chat. Let us know where you at. We are the Real HD Show. And if you want to see that article and others like it, you can go to the Atlantic Black Star. And they feature this story as well. Without a doubt, intentional. Heinz doubles down on racism with new blackface ad after facing backlash for erasing the black father from the bride's wedding. The ketchup behemoth Heinz was recently criticized for omitting a black father from the wedding scene in a UK advertising campaign. After a critique of the image went viral on social media, the company apologized, but it left a bad taste in everyone's mouths. Now, there's a second part to this, and I'm going to pull up the story. Let's see, Atlantic Black Star. No. Let me pull it up. Get it up. Get up. Twitch, everybody's saying that Twitch wife should be investigated for, trying to, they saying his death, his apparent suicide might have been a little dubious. So they're calling for an investigation with her. But let's get this catch-up piece here, right? Because these are the products that they expect you to spend your hard-earned money on during the stagflation that we're in, right? It says, while the father of the groom was present at the head table, the bride's father was strangely missing, sparking some confusion. Many felt the image perpetuated the stereotype of the absent black father. In this case, one so disengaged that he did not show up for his own daughter's wedding, right? And you can see, I'm not going to share my screen for this one, but you'll see the bride, she's holding up like a fork full of spaghetti. And then some of the Heinz ketchup, I don't know who put spaghetti on it. Ketchup, maybe y'all do. Leave it in the chat. Do y'all use spaghetti on y'all? Do y'all use ketchup on y'all spaghetti? That's wild. The brother that made the comment in a Twitter post also said, the total erasure of black fathers by such a mainstream brand is shocking. Not really. How did this get approved? Many echoed in their comments. People found Heinz' apology disingenuous when they gave one. This would have gone through many rounds of approval, both by the ad agency and Heinz itself. This was without a doubt intentional. right? That's how they regarding it. Let me see. It says interracial ads have become increasingly popular, like I talked about. However, mixed race ads rarely show black men. That's very true. Let us know in the chat if you see black men in a lot of mixed race ads, or do you see white men with black women? Things that make you go, hmm. One study found that 70% of interracial commercials from 2018 to 2021 showed a sister with a white dude, according to Morgan State University professor Jason Johnson, per Voice of America show. Unfortunately, the unexpected family that advertisers seem to love is not exactly a mirror of real life, and in worst cases, can sell the old tired stereotypes along with their products. Okay, on Monday, the company issued a statement over its Smiles campaign, which featured people grinning with the ketchup bottle smeared all over their mouths. So this is like almost like the Joker piece. However, one image showed a black man, and critics argued it strongly resembled blackface and minstrel shows of the 19th and 20th century. That portrayed white actors exaggerating clownish features, often included red lips, according to PR Weekly. Crazy, man. So this is like that Gucci piece. Remember Gucci had the sweater that had the whole minstrel face in the sweater? You could pull the sweater up to your nose, and then right in the turtleneck part of the sweater, it had like a big exaggerated smiley face, and you could wear it like over your nose. So it had big nostrils and a super duper smiley face, red smiley face that was exaggerated, and that's another example. And then the Smiles campaign um, for catch up. Let me see. Smiles campaign. Let me see. Because we're going to get this from Smiles campaign for catch up. Let's see if we can get an image, folks. So it says Heinz unveils ad campaign with creepy ketchup smiles. The campaign is first from Gut, New York, and is now throughout all of Europe. So I'm going to share my screen real quick, and I will show you this imagery from Ad Weekly. You know what I mean? The exaggerated smile, but now you see it. All right, hold on. Let me show you the first one. The first one is a brother with the whole Jim Crow smile piece on there. And then they want to call themselves apologizing. Let me see. Hit magazine. All right, come on up. All right. Now I know that you don't actually have to. So y'all could check that out on Atlantic Black Star, for your own awareness. I'm going to minimize that, and I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to bring up the image on Instagram of this Smiles ketchup campaign and what the brother looked like, and where do they get these goofballs from that do this stuff? You know what I mean? So it says Heinz issues an apology on Monday after its European Smiles campaign sparked backlash for imagery critics said echoed backlash for minstrel shows. The ads featured people grinning with the ketchup smeared all over their mouths. Like, come on, nobody does that when you have a hamburger. Nobody does that. The ad featured people grinning, smeared ketchup all over their mouths, like this one. Critics pointed out the resemblance to racist depictions of the 19th and 20th century minstrel shows, where black men were dehumanized and exaggerated clownish features. You know what I mean? It's crazy, man. And this is Heinz. So if you don't stay on their neck, they will try it. They will try it. And they will try you. You know what I'm saying? Now, some people want to say that I'm going to share my screen one more again, and I'm going to show you guys what this looks like on the other end of it, because they try to say, no, we are, equal opportunity stereotypical. Like, don't nobody need to look like this. You know what I'm saying? So I guess they put a white person in the same sort of face, and then now that's what's being purported, with the same ketchup smeared all over their face. Well, what they don't realize is trying to do that PR control and that damage control for what they did with this, right? The original birth of a nation and all of the jigaboo images and all of the Sambo, Jim Crow images were white people. They were the very first ones to create that man tan look. Shout out to Bamboozled by Spike Lee. I feel like watching that again with the Mau Mau. The Mau Mau wasn't having it. They went out like troopers. But they created all of that. You know what I'm saying? So, we just got to be careful and fight the power, man. Don't let these dudes just run amok. Get on Twitter, get on these social media streets. Badmouth these programs, badmouth this programming. You know what I mean? This, planned obsolescence, right? Because they want to convince the Z's and the millennials, catch up, sugar, good, popular. And then we just learned earlier that it can mess up your stem cell growth, contributing to Parkinson's, Alzheimer, and dementia. So not only do they want to hit you with the super duper jigaboo racism joint, then they want to hit you with the long-term health effects. It's crazy, man. It's a crazy world out here, man. We here to bring it to you. Talk about what this has to do with us on the Real HD Show. So there's another thing that's connected to this, anti-male, anti-black man, anti-family piece. And speaking of, great TV fathers going through it, in the TV series, Them, it features a family in the same type of, time period. Well, just a little bit earlier than the Evans family. It's a show featuring, I believe, Jordan Peele, directed this. Let me see if I can put this up. Yeah, let me load this stuff up so I can show you this. And it has that very same imagery from the Heinz commercial. As a matter of fact, let me just put it up and share my page so I can share some of these images, and you can get a greater context of shows that want to actually kind of expose, and hold people accountable for the Jim Crow behavior and culturalization of America. And not only are they holding these people accountable, but they are showing the danger of what this is. And this show, Them, by Jordan Peele. If you could see this figure here, I'm going to share my screen. You could see that even in 2024, we are still dealing with the same bad stereotypical imagery, the bad nature of, what black men are supposed to look like and conduct themselves like. And this was supposed to be the alter ego. If you can see this here. Yeah, you guys can see it. This is supposed to be the alter ego of the father, who was, I guess, the patron of the family. He got a good job. He was a scientist or an engineer within the frame of the show. And, the show was heavy in these depictions. So I hope you guys can see what he really looked like. And this was supposed to be, the Sambo imagery that I just showed you is supposed to be like his alter ego that was like kind of trying to rob him of his sanity in a very haunting horror style way. You know what I mean? And it affected, when they moved into this house in the white part of Compton, back in I believe it was the mid 50s. This is what they encountered. And it was horrible. And the show was so good. Y'all need to go check it out because it dealt with, it's called Them the Covenant. And it was the very first series of the show Them. And then Them continues in the 1980s in the second season. Well, within the frame of the show, they get into the redlining of Compton and of America for that matter. And of course, redlining started in Chicago after World War II when blacks started getting the GI Bill and they started having just a little bit more money and a little bit more education, and they could be a little bit more, free and a little bit more mobility. And they showed you the lengths that government went to deny black people their rightful claim to the American experience. So it's worth your time. Anika Noni Rose is in it. She plays a really good role about a former family that moved to Compton before that family that's starring in the show. And it's just really dope. So please just go check that out. It's called Them. It's worth a look. It would not be a waste of your time. It's on the horror side of the game. So if that's not really your cup of tea, maybe just watch the trailer. But it does show the travails and the savage inequalities that our folks went through within the country, especially if you're a millennial or a Z. You won't learn about these things in school. You won't learn about these things in college. Why? Because Moms for Liberty are trying to burn books and trying to burn the social experience within America so they don't have to tell the truth. So I just wanted to show all of that within the frame of the Lit City Report. I know it was a little long-winded, but it's all good stuff. So before we get out of here, I want to do something which I didn't do for a while. And it's right on. I'll leave the Nina Turner show for when. I wanted to feature something by Nina Turner, but I'll save that for when our panel is here. I want to have a feature that I have on the show. It's called Two Wings of the Same Dirty Bird. And I kind of, doctored this photo a little bit, but it's, the GOP and the Dems and how they're two wings of the same dirty bird. So, this election season got a lot of people polarized and divisive, and you don't know who's coming, who's going, who's doing this, who's doing that. But I'm here to let you know, in the actual factual sense of it all, it's just two wings of the same dirty bird. So if you're sitting there hooping and hollering for Kamala, they a bunch of bums and dirty too. If you're sitting there hooping and hollering for Trump, thinking that Trump is going to help you, just know that Trump he been with the shits. He been with the crazy savage inequalities for black people. And now he's up to his old tricks. You know what I mean? Now he's up to his old tricks again because Trump is talking about bad genes. And he's been doing this ever since not for a long time now. And then he'll hobnob with the Diddy's of the world and the Montel Williams of the world and those who are in the upper crust of financial gainings. But meanwhile, his pappy or his uncle or whoever that person that raised him and gave him that fiscal head start has basically made him into this really discriminatory racist MFer. And here is a particular article that features that. And it's out of the Atlantic Black Star once again. So I'll pull that back up. because I want to read a little bit of the article to you guys, just so you could be aware of it, man. So all you guys that are black for Trump, this is what your man is doing. You know what I'm saying? This is what your man is doing. This is what he's all about. This is what he got in his heart. You know what I mean? You heard the black jobs comment, right? Where do you think that's coming from? Where do you think that's coming from? That's coming, and now you're hearing the bad genes comment, right? Now you're not sure if he's talking about uh, people that are coming from overseas, or if he's talking about melanated people right here in America. So I'm just scrolling so I can get to this. Let's see. Let me just put Trump in the search engine, and he should pull right up. Okay, yeah, so here it is. It says KKK thought the same. Donald Trump hit with accusations of scientific racism, eugenics, after suggesting certain people will commit murder because it's in their genes. Didn't we leave this in the like 40s or the 50s or the 60s, or did we never leave it alone? Has America ever graduated from this, or was they just faking it? Here's a byline. Trump is stirring controversy once again after suggesting that undocumented migrants, that's what he's talking about now, carry a likelihood of committing heinous crimes based on genetic factors. Here we go. Didn't he just talk about the Haitians eating cats in Ohio and all that mess? The former president, current Republican nominee for the president, appeared on the Hugh Hewitt show to talk about the first anniversary of the Hamas-led attack on Israel that ignited a brutal ongoing genocide, with many, many Palestinians passing away. Trump spoke on foreign nation matters while mounting numerous insults against Biden, Trump current opponent Kamala Harris. On the subject of immigration, he went after the vice president, stating that she wants him to feed people governmentally and go into a communist party type of system. That she wants people to do that, part of self. One topic of immigration, he went after the vice president, claiming that she wants to feed people governmentally and go into a communist party type of system. Yeah, man. Now remember, this cat Trump was the same one that wanted to condemn the Central Park Five when they were rocking and when they were in their traverse, right? When they were in their problems, their tribulation, just for them to be found innocent. Just for them to be found innocent. And this dude did a whole op-ed in the New York Times talking about they should prosecute these dudes to the fullest extent of the law. They're criminals, they're this, they're that, just for them to be found innocent. And settle for millions of dollars, each one of them. Because of the racist climate and the racist way that they conducted those investigations. So now your man is on his Cold Spring Harbor, Long Island piece. Now your man is on the eugenics of it all. Crazy on crazy on crazy. But when your base is being funded by super uber Christian racist dudes like the Ziglag Foundation and Turning Point USA and all of those sorts of, and the Claremont Institute that wants to repress women's right to vote, you got to sing to your base. You got to say and do what your base wants you to do. But guess what? You're accountable for that as well. And they got this CRISPR technology that's out right now. And they're trying to, just like they did in the, Dr. Marion Sims of it all, claim that this is all in the better interests of technology and science. Seymour Hoffman and all of those medical, malfeasant people. So we can't, and of course, with the, Moms for Liberty trying to burn books that are conscious and that still tell the truth about the American context, you can't let them get away with reinstituting old shit. That doesn't apply right now. You can't let them reinstitute old crap that has no bearing on 2024, or does it? Have we done enough to make sure that things like this don't have any bearing in 2024? He can go to the Bronx and he can paint some sneakers gold and have a campaign rally in my hometown and then act like he did something. He's doing something with himself. And then turn around and talk about melanated people coming from overseas like they dogs. Now, I agree we have a problem with them being in the country and the overflow of them and the misuse of, taxpayer funds for them. But I'm not going to call them dogs. I'm not going to say they have a predisposition to crime just because they melanated people. Are you crazy? Come on, man. You wilding out. Because over the last 60 years, if anyone is not integrated with a Caribbean lineage, you lying. You lying. You lying. If you ain't intermarried, if you don't have some sort of ancestry that gets into some sort of Caribbean face or some sort of, island-based face, you lying. That's how much miscegenation and admixture we've had over the last 60 years. It's been out of control. So if you're talking bad about melanated people coming over here, then you're talking about all melanated people. And he's already done it. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? He ain't off the hook. But the other side isn't off the hook either. Why? Because they two wings of the same dirty bird. So if this dude is talking about eugenics and science and using scientific racism, what's up with your girl Kamala and Biden? They got crap with them too. They with the shits too. And I'm about to pull this up right here. And we're gonna talk about Kamala's stinking ass right now. All right. And she can come out on MLK's birthday. She could ski it up. She could do electric slides and giggle and have the Divine Nine at the White House playing WAP and all the rest of it. But she can't break no bread. When it's time to break bread, she can't break bread. The operatives, the black operatives, right, are furious about Kamala Harris' campaign and how it's spending money. So y'all remember Kamala Harris got all the ski-wees and the diamonds and the Zetas and all these people, all these sisters, in a matter of a night to donate millions to her. She put out the boule call. People came on and threw millions of bucks at this woman, right? And she has been spending that campaign money not with black firms that are helping her with her campaign, with the white ones. Ooh, Mufasa. Right. So she's spending money with the white cats. She ain't spending money with the black people that helped her raise millions of dollars in a matter of hours. Minority-owned firms are frustrated. The campaign is relying on white-owned firms for spending, and they're worried that they could ultimately hurt the campaigners with voters of color. So that means the black firms are tight right now. They tight because they was like, yo, we supposed to be Boule. We supposed to be Sigma Pi Phi. We supposed to be Divine Nine. We supposed to be breaking bread. I'm going to raise this bread for you. And now you got to break bread, Kamala. But Kamala don't want to break bread. Derek Johnson, the president of NAACP, was frustrated after a call with Kamala Harris' campaign early last month. He and others on the call felt that they hadn't gotten a clear answer to something that mystified the leaders in Congress, co-chairs, and campaign donors. Why did it seem like minority-owned political firms that typically work with Democratic campaigns aren't getting any of the Harris campaign money as white firms are getting it. Quote, black voters are the base. It should be black vendors telling the story. So this is why I tell you, these folks are, this government shit as it presents itself currently as two wings of the same dirty bird. What you like red sometime, what you like blue sometime, you flip flop. Because a lot of these dudes love flip flopping. Okay? Two wings of the same dirty bird. So then we have APAC. Oh, everybody hates what's going on in the Middle East right now. Folks are dying, folks are losing, babies are getting blown up, whole districts of people are getting wiped out over this war machine that's going on overseas. And what's the number one Jewish lobby in America right now? What's the number one Jewish lobby? The Jews. What's the number one Jewish lobby in America? APAC. Right? And I don't know if you guys remember, but it was a while back. I did a show where the guy talked about every politician has an APAC representative hitting them off. They take lunches with these dudes. They take them to the 5 seasons, the 4 seasons, whatever it is. Gourmet lunches, gourmet dinners. They wine and dine these politicians to create legislations that benefit the Jewish communities all over the country. They spend big money on this lobbying in Washington. And then you got Kamala Harris at the APAC with the hands in the air, speaking real slow, with that twinge in the voice. And then you got the orange man doing the same thing. They both splaining. They splaining hard. What they splaining about? They splaining about how they going to take that campaign money they getting from APAC and use it. They splaining how they going to take that money that they're getting from the Jewish lobby and how they going to make bills and, veto bills that don't corral with Jewish interests. Is that what they're doing? Things that make you go, but they're both two wings, same dirty bird. APAC here, APAC here. As a matter of fact, in Twitterland, the sisters who are really not feeling Kamala Harris over her efforts and her doubling down on riding with Israel right now, riding with the Khazars right now. You know what I'm saying? And if you watch a couple shows back, I showed you how they the Khazars. Go back to, Kanye and Kyrie Irving. They showed it also. They proved it also. They had to pay a price for it economically and, popular wise, but they showed it also. But two wings, same dirty bird, man. And I want to show y'all something about what's going on with the two of them. So I showed you APAC. I showed you how they're both trying to get over on folks in the racism category, right? On the discrimination, savage inequality tip. Now watch this. Let's see. They're both in bed with BlackRock. Now, why is that important? BlackRock is the largest, mutual fund in the world. And Trump got his debt crisis plan from Larry Flint and his cronies in BlackRock. And I was writing Bloomberg News. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you how they're two wings of the same dirty bird. Check this out. BlackRock becomes key player in crisis response for Trump and the Fed. Now, this is during Trump's administration when he was President Trump. President Donald Trump grappled with coronavirus outbreak last month. That's back when he was using all this qualitative easing. He boasted a press conference of tapping a secret weapon for advice, Larry Flint. The chief BlackRock executive provided insight to Trump on coping with the fallout from the pandemic and once again put his firm at the center of a white hot economic mess. All right, but we ain't done. We ain't done because I just told you we're not done with the ragamuffin stuff. Because I told you before that this is what two wings of the same dirty bird. All right. So this is actually a blessing that our panel isn't super full tonight because I could get to a lot of this stuff that I wanted to get to over the last couple. But you can still jump in. We still got time. We still got 10 more minutes. Kamala Harris and Biden, right? And even Kamala Harris right now is using BlackRock as her economic advisor for her potential new presidency once she gets elected. And this is out of Bloomberg as well. This is out of control, man. Two wings, same dirty bird. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. So I want to, they're blocking my shine right now. So I got to get out of this so that I can show you guys this article. Okay. Let me go back a taste. I had this pulled up. You know what? I think I have an image of this pulled up in one of my files. Let me go to my Kamala Harris file and pull this joker up. Where's she at? Okay, here we go. Let me pull up the Kamala Harris file and get y'all right. Okay. So what I'll do is I will put this up again and I will show you guys. I'll just take a snapshot of it. All right. So we'll put this up. We will put this up. So if you guys are if y'all are on the fence, and y'all are undecided about whether y'all gonna go Kamala or whether y'all gonna go Trump, I say break the wheel. Show them that you can't be bought unless they have a black agenda. Show them you can't be paid for unless they got a black melanated agenda for people here. Show them. Show them it's not so easy to just do what they want to do and get away with it. And if you don't, and they don't give you what you deserve or what you think you are owed as a taxpayer, as a melanated person in this country, then it's your fault. That's your fault. Because you ain't stick to your guns. You ain't hold your own nuts. You know what I'm saying? We got to do those things so that we get our just deserves. So here it is right here. I'm going to load this up. Sorry that took a minute. I had to find it. So there you go. BlackRock picked as Kamala Harris' top economic advisor. Wow. So you got Trump rocking with BlackRock, and you got Kamala rocking with BlackRock. That's all about the WEF piece. They're all about that global government. They're all about that, they're both about the APAC piece, which essentially is global governance, ESG, social credit scores, all the rest of it. If you ever tuned into the Real HD show, you've seen all of this, right? And now you're learning that BlackRock is the devil sitting on Kamala's shoulder, whispering in her ear, and is sitting on Trump's shoulder, whispering in his ear as well. Out of control, man. Out of control, man. Break the wheel. That's what I say. I'm with Bootsy. I'm with Bootsy Collins, man. I'm sorry, I'm with Boots Riley. Sorry, not Bootsy Collins, but I'm with Boots Riley. Break the wheel. You know what I mean? You gotta destroy the system and then rebuild it in your image. Because it's two wings of the same dirty bird. And they expect you to play along, get along, to go along, when really it's two wings of the same dirty bird. One red, one blue. All right, man. We are going to shut it down for right now. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, and turn on your notifications. Timestamp what you liked about the show. If you want to leave some comments or anything that you thought was crucial information or crucial things to build on, be progressive about. And I look forward to seeing you guys on Moon Day when we can have another show. And I'm going to bid you peace, walk with power, and y'all be safe in these hurricane storm weather, man. It's breaking my heart what people are going through, man. Y'all be careful, be careful, be careful. Y'all share with each other. Y'all love on each other. We'll be back on Moon Day for the real HD show. Hey, good looking out, Twitch, for the live streams. Y'all are hitting me off. Love with the amount of people. Please like, heart. Any way that you can support the show, please. Cash App, $, the real HD show. Peace and walk with power. We out.